Hello everyone, and welcome to my very first Let's Play. I am known as Coder Wilson, and we're going to go ahead and get this started now. What I am doing is going to be a Let's Play, but not just any Let's Play. This is going to be a Final Fantasy X Yuna only, no summons challenge. Slightly more complicated than normal. We're going to let the cutscene roll here real quick. And while we do that, I want to talk about why I want to get into Let's Playing a little bit. I found a gentleman by the name of Cyric1983 who now goes by Intrepid83, and I found his Let's Play when I was searching for some specific things that I was looking for Final Fantasy X on one of my previous playthroughs. I watched a few more of his Let's Plays. I actually watched the entire Final Fantasy X Let's Play the entire way through. And then I went back and watched some more of his. He has quite a few. They are all extremely good. And he's got a great voice for it, by the way. And basically, I decided to try my own Let's Play. I bought a little bit of hardware, a couple of cables to connect the PS2 to the computer. And this is going to be the result. This is going to be my first Let's Play. So, again, while this cutscene rolls that everybody knows oh so well and just gets repeated over and over, I want to talk a little bit about why I want to do a Yuna only challenge. You can go on the internet, like on Cyric's account, and find basically the walkthrough version of these Let's Plays, the ones where they do the normal, just the normal game, playing through the game as it would be played normally, and of course trying to find everything, but playing it normally as you would play it if you were not doing a challenge mode. And I thought, well, you know, I've done a couple of these challenges where you can only use one character if they are available, if and when they're available. You cannot use anyone else. And I decided, you know, I'd like to throw something like that up there and also be commenting on it at the same time, which is basically what I'm doing now. So, rules for this is going to be Yuna only, no summons. That's the basic rules. You can use Yuna when she's available, and when she's available, you cannot use anyone else. So basically, you have to make them run away, change weapons, or attack themselves. And you'll see how that goes as we go through the game. So, when Yuna is not in a party, this acts as a no sphere grid challenge for all the other characters that are available. Of course, you don't get Yuna for a short little while in the game, and if you do some of the other challenges like a Riku or Auron only, you don't get them until a significant distance through the game. So, and those are the basic rules. We're going to go over more rules in the next episode once we get to that point, but that'll be a ways down the road. So, I'm going to interrupt really quickly, even though the cutscene is still going. We're coming to not necessarily a critical part of the challenge mode Let's Plays, but it is pretty useful because when you're playing the Let's Play, when you're playing the challenge modes, you usually only use one character, and it's very easy when you save the game to overwrite one file with another if you have everyone named Titus, which is the default name for Final Fantasy X's main character, which you are seeing here, and you also saw in the previous cutscene. So, when you're naming your character, I highly recommend you pick a name that's going to be pretty unique as well as describe that character. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. Now for this one, I'm going to name it YO-NS, Yuna only, no summons. You can do like 3 characters dash only, so, but which I do on some of my other ones. You'll see an Auron only in when I save the game later on. But I'm going to name this one YO-NS. That stands for Yuna only, no summons. That actually comes from a guy named Mace on GameFAQs. He calls himself Mace with an underscore both before and after his name. I will be linking to his guide on GameFAQs because he does the majority of the. We're basically going to be following his guide on most of these fights as we go through the game. So I'll link that in this video, probably in another 2 or 3 videos to follow. But, yeah, so anyway, I'm going to get back to talking a little bit out of character here, talking a little bit about why you should and should not watch this Let's Play as we get going. First of all, the reasons to watch is that basically I'm going to be running this through as a guide for people that want to try a challenge mode. Now I am specifically picking Yuna because it is probably the hardest challenge mode. So, and you'll see that, you'll see why. Of course, she has no attack power, and I'll delve more into that later. But basically, I wanted to do this for people that wanted to make the game a little bit harder. I realize I'm doing it about 10 years late, but it's whatever. So, and basically the other reason, the first reason you should watch it, because I'm not explaining myself very well, is if you want to do a challenge mode and you kind of want to see someone else doing it and use this as a guide and a reference to do it yourself with Yuna or with another character, then that's going to be great for that. The second reason is basically that I will discuss the other challenge modes, for instance an Auron only, a Waka only, a Lulu only. At this point I've done every single character only challenge except for Waka and the vast majority of Auron. I really haven't gotten into his at all either. So I will be discussing those other challenges as well, and so as we go through the game at those critical fights I will make a note to describe what's going on with those ones for you as we go. Reasons not to watch are very straightforward. First of all, I'm going to be skipping a lot of game content here. I'm going to be skipping major cutscenes. Now this first one I am showing you quite a lot just because I need to create a base for you guys before I start throwing in spoilers, but there's going to be a lot of skipping. There's going to be a lot of saying, you need to grind here for hours and hours on end. And I'm not going to show you me grinding for hours and hours on end. Or something like when we get to the place where the Guado live, which if you know the game you will know where that is. Once we get to that point, there's a whole lot of cutscenes and a whole lot of walking around and doing things that doesn't really involve the Yuna only challenge, so I will be skipping forward to the next point where that would really apply. And so you're just going to be missing a whole lot of content. If you do want to, well, I'll come back to that. Yeah, if you do want to see someone playing through Final Fantasy with all the content, all the videos, all the cutscenes, you really should go watch Cyric, and that's Cyric 1983. Just look for his Final Fantasy X playthrough. It's excellent. It's just about right. So he does a real good job of both catering to players that have never played the game before, that just kind of want to see the game and see what the story is and everything like that. And he also caters to people that are just looking for that one thing that they're missing in their own game. So he does a really good job of both. So the other reason, which I alluded to a moment ago, is that I'm going to be constantly throwing out spoilers and hinting at less obvious plot points when I'm not doing some kind of a scripted like I'm doing now. I have a little bit of script here that I'm going over for you guys so you know what's coming up in the future, basically. So basically, if you don't want to hit those spoilers and you don't want to hit, but you do want to hit the actual story and hit the entire story, again, go watch Cyric 1983. You could go watch other people, but he, honestly, I think he does the best job of it. So I will try to figure out how to create a link at the bottom of my video, so that you can find that very easily, as well as I do also have to reference, again, Mace with the underscore both before and after his name, and his Yuna only no summons guide on GameFAQs.com. So I just wanted you guys to see what's going on. Mainly the reason for this video was to show you that naming scheme and kind of get an introduction to who I am, even though I really haven't said anything about who I am, but you'll figure it out as we go. But yes, again, I will link to Mace and I will link to Cyric 1983, and next time what you can be looking forward to on my very next video will be a discussion on in-depth challenge mode rules, as well as the only fights in Living Xanarch. And we're going to go through this first little bit of the game where there's actually fighting, and go from there. So anyway, that's about all the time I want to take for this fantastic cutscene, but this is where I do want to cut the movie off, so I am gonna leave you guys here, and if you know the game, you know what's coming up. If not, well, go watch Cyric 1983, honestly, but I will catch you guys on the flip side. Y'all have a great day now.